What's going on, guys? Fun with Knives back again. Got a cool discussion video. I'll try to keep this one short. And the topic for this one is going to be what's the craze with flippers right now? It seems like everything that's coming out is a flipper of some sort, whether it's assisted or it's on ball bearings or it's a frame lock, whatever. It seems like flippers are the vast majority of new knives, whether it's coming from production companies. It seems like mid-techs and customs are all going to be flippers now. And I'm just going to kind of weigh in here, and I want to hear your guys' thoughts on it too. I mainly want to talk about the ball bearing flippers, with either IKBS or, the ceramic ball bearings or, whatever it's going to be. But I did bring a couple of speed safe ones out here because these are dedicated flippers. And I just kind of brought them out because they're involved in the discussion for sure, but we'll kind of move them out for now. So these are just some of my examples of ball bearing flippers where these two CRKT models have the IKBS system developed by Flavio Icoma, the designer of this No Time Off, and then you have your KVT ball bearings here and these two ZTs, my newest acquisitions. So guys, I don't know if flipping knives are any easier than a thumb action knife like this Yojimbo here, where you have a thumb hole, or whether it's a thumb disc, or a thumb stud, whatever it is. Are flippers truly any easier than these thumb actuated knives? I don't know. I mean, I think that's kind of up to your opinion. But one thing about thumb operating knives is that you seem to have your hand in a position to use the knife as soon as you open it, and that's kind of the one credit to these, where as soon as you open the knife, it's ready for some use. You can use the knife just like this. With the Spyderco Spidey hole, I mean, it's really easy to adjust your grip on, where if you have a flipper, it's not difficult by any means, but you're not going to use the knife in this sense where you, as soon as you open the knife, it's ready for some use. I mean, that's kind of a weird grip on it, so you need to readjust your grip every time you flip the knife. So is it the best way to open a folding knife? I don't know. Maybe. It's definitely my favorite way, because flippers are fun. They are fun to use. They're easy to use in general. I mean, some knives don't flip as well as others, obviously. But these ball bearing flippers, they flip nice and smooth. You don't need necessarily a speed safe or, whatever your favorite assisted technology is. You don't necessarily need that. It's nice to have that knowledge that will lock up every time. But these ball bearing flippers come out just as fast, I think. And they work really well. And they're so fun to play with, whether it's a light switch or a push button flipper. I think flippers are going to be the future of folding knives in general, where Spyderco is going to stick with their thumb holes, but I think you're going to see a movement even more so away from thumb studs. Other than just flipping this knife around at your desk, or just sitting around messing with your knife, the flippers have a very satisfying sound when they lock up. When they hit their, this one's got an internal stop pin. When they hit that stop pin, here's got an external one, and that lock bar engages, whether that's a liner lock like these two models or a frame lock, it's a very satisfying sound, and a lot of knife nerds know exactly what I'm talking about. That one's a little bit plasticky, but on these titanium flippers too, that's a whole nother discussion. Why is titanium so popular, and especially titanium frame locks? Because they're definitely the best, I think. But that sound, I don't know if I can get that closer to the mic just a little bit. That is a great sound. You know your knife's locked up, and you love hearing that thing closed, and you love hearing it open. So a lot goes into making a well-built flipper, which these ZTs definitely are, especially this 0220. The flipping action on that is incredible. This deviation, on the other hand, is running on IKBS. The main difference, I think, between those two is that you have loose ball bearings in this, where they're just kind of crammed in there all around the pivot on each side. And if you disassemble this knife, you hear people tell you all the time that IKBS ball bearings are going to go everywhere. These tiny little ball bearings. And with the KVT mechanism and some other ones, I don't have, sorry, I bumped the camera there. I don't have every example for you guys, but these KVT ones are kind of a ball bearing built into like a polymer washer or a metal washer, either way, where you can take this knife apart and then you have these washers full of ball bearings in them. So I think these are a little bit smoother. Obviously, these are more premium folders. but I think I like the KVT or the caged ball bearing ones a little bit better, because if you do need to disassemble and clean your knife and oil it up, those make it a lot easier where you're not trying to catch all your ball bearings everywhere. But both are really smooth, and I just like this KVT a little bit better. Now, the detent is extremely important on flippers where you don't want it to be too soft. You're going to get a lot of action like that. The deviation here doesn't have the best detent. As you can see, I can get it to fail really easily, and you need to get a good purchase on the flipper, where this 0220 doesn't have that problem. Any way you hit the flipper, it's going to open every time. So flippers, definitely going to be the future of knives, and I'm a fan of them. I'm a huge fan. If it's got some ball bearing pivot system and the detent is good, where it holds the knife in really well. You can see here as this knife sucks back in, maybe right around there. Hear that, how it sucks back in. That detention inside your handle is going to make it so this knife doesn't shake out, and your action is going to be consistently good every time. So I love Speed Save from Kershaw. I love a whole lot of assisted knives, but I think the future of my knife collection is going to largely be ball bearing flippers. I don't know if it's because that's what's widely available right now, or if I really do think they're the best things out. But I really want to hear from you guys, as always, in these discussion videos. And tell me what your favorite kind of flipper is, because there seems to be a whole lot out there at the moment. And whether you're a light switch fan or a push button fan, if you love IKBS, you know, just tell me. I'd love to hear from you guys. And yeah, that was it. So thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.